This lesson will teach you how to import trades using a spreadsheet or text-based program. This type of import should only be used if your broker is not currently supported by TradeLog, or if the data or trade history is no longer available from a supported broker to download via our standard import methods. Compatible files can be created using various Word or spreadsheet processors. This import method is dependent on the format of data, not the application being used. Before using this import method, please check to see if your broker is supported by TradeLog. If your broker is not supported or the data is not available, contact your broker to see if they can provide the details of your trading history. This is not a profit-loss report, but rather a detailed list of confirmed trades for the time period requested. This could save you a lot of time. Once the information is gathered, it can be compiled in your favorite Word or spreadsheet processor. In the example to follow, we will use Microsoft Excel to format a spreadsheet. This is the most common method used and is the easiest. Here is an example of a completed file that is properly formatted. To download this sample file, go to www.tradelogsoftware.com. Click on the Support tab on the main navigation bar. Next, select the Supported Broker menu item. Scroll down to the bottom of the Supported Brokers page. Under the Specialty Import section, choose Excel-Text. Click on the Download link to save the sample Excel file to your PC. Note, it does not matter where you save this file on your PC. However, please make sure that you pay attention to where it saves for quick access. Once the spreadsheet is open, notice the bold column headers on the first row. These headers not only help itemize trades in TradeLog, but also it enables the software to identify and match transactions using FIFO. Most of these columns are self-explanatory, but we may need a few kind reminders. 1. Please do not add or delete any columns unless told to do so in this tutorial. 2. If you are a new user to TradeLog and do not recognize these headers, please review our tutorials on the basics of using TradeLog. The date column is the actual transaction date, not the settlement date of the trade. The time column is optional. However, if your broker provides this option, use it. This will create a seamless import for the most active of traders. O/C or buy/sell is used to specify in what order a trade is bought or sold. L/S or long/short is used to show whether a trader's intent for the security is to go up or down in value, going long, going short. Note, this column can be left blank for trades going long. However, there needs to be an S entered into this column for trades that go short. Ticker is the description of property. To use the proper format, review our lesson on manually entering trades. SH/CONTR is the amount of shares or contracts bought or sold. Price is the price per share or unit. The commission paid is either added to the cost basis or subtracted from the proceeds. Note, this column can be left blank if there is a share, price, and amount number available. Amount is the full basis or proceeds factoring in the commission. Note this column can be left blank if there is a share, price, and commission number available. The only column that is different from the TradeLog grid is the optional type column. This is used to identify options and future contracts. An O identifies options, while a F identifies futures. In this lesson, we will only consider options. You may use these column headers to create a template for manual entry, or you may use them as a guide when formatting a broker's trade report. In either case, the headers above, unless labeled optional, are required for importing data in TradeLog when using this method. For manual entry, we suggest using the broker statement as we are about to demonstrate. We will clear out our current spreadsheet and consider what details to enter from our statement. In our example statement, we have several trades to enter for the month of March. Notice that the broker's headers are titled differently and are listed in a different order. Please pay close attention to what information you transfer to your spreadsheet template. In our first trade, we see that our trade date was 3/18/2010. This is the date that we need to enter in our template. For the O/C column, we need to record the type of financial transaction. For this trade, it was a buy. Also, this security was bought first, so the trade is going long. Remember, we can leave this field blank if the trade is long. Note that some brokers do not clearly indicate whether a trade goes long or short. Some use the word margin for long trades and short for short sales. Others may completely separate these transaction types. For our ticker, we need to extract the correct elements out of the description on our statement. We then need to separate each element by a space. We do not need to record the CUSIP. Rather, since this is clearly an option trade, we need the underlying stock, expiration date, strike price, and option type. That is, whether the option is a call or put. In our spreadsheet, this ticker should read in the TradeLog required long symbol format: WFC space 17 APR 10 space 15 space call. WFC is the underlying stock. 17 APR 10 is the weekly or monthly expiration date. 15 is the strike price, and call is the option type. The next fields are self-explanatory. It is universal on all broker reports to list in order the amount of shares or contracts, the price per unit, and the full amount. Remember, it is okay if your broker does not separate the commission out of the amount. This will be populated upon import in TradeLog as long as you have the number of shares, price per unit, and net amount. Since this trade is an option, we need to enter in an O in the type column. Our next transaction is on the same date, but it is an option with a different strike, sold short. Short sales and buy to cover transactions need to be entered exactly as this lesson describes. When you short an option or stock, the O/C column should read Sell to Open. When you cover a short sell or buy back an option or stock, the O/C column should read Buy to Close. Also, to ensure proper trade matching, we need to enter in a S in the L/S column. Again, we can enter in our ticker in the correct format, this time adjusting the strike price. Remember to enter an option trade as O under the type column header. Now let's enter in a full round trip for stock JPM. For the example that follows, we have already entered in 2 buy transactions below in our spreadsheet. Now we will close the transaction. For this transaction, we need to enter Sell in the O/C column. Again, we do not have to enter anything in the L/S column since this trade is going long. The ticker should only read the stock symbol. Remember also, for stocks, the type column can be left blank. That's it. The majority of users will not have to manually enter their trades. If your broker is able to provide an Excel or CSV file that already contains your transaction history, it is recommended that you edit the provided spreadsheet, thus formatting it to import into TradeLog. Let's look at an example of a report provided by the broker. Displayed is a sample broker-provided transaction history report. First, create a backup. If you make any mistakes, you want the ability to start over. Second, notice that there are columns that can be deleted. This may vary depending on your broker. These columns may include account ID numbers, interest paid or issued, settlement dates, or profit and loss. Note the column headers to keep will be closely related to the required TradeLog headers. For instance, shares could be translated quantity. Security could also be viewed as ticker. If you are not sure about a certain column, do not delete it. Do the proper research first to see if you need this column or not. We will now delete the columns we do not need. Note in Excel, we will simply hover over the column letter that needs to be removed and right-click with our mouse to pull up the right-click menu options. One of these options should say Delete. Left-click on Delete to completely remove this column. Continue to remove all unnecessary columns using this technique. Third, change the column headers to read those required for the import. Fourth, if necessary, rearrange the columns to align each header as required for the import. Fifth, after rearranging the columns, certain information, such as whether a trade is long or short, may be missing. Insert these columns as needed. In Excel, we will right-click on the column letter to the right of where we want to insert a new column. This will again pull up our right-click menu. This time, we will left-click on Insert from this menu. Finally, make any adjustments or edits as needed. Namely, this means making sure that the data underneath the column headers is according to this lesson. If your broker doesn't provide certain information, such as if a trade was bought or sold, or went long or short, you may have to enter this information manually or use the available functions in your spreadsheet program to edit these fields. If a trade instrument, such as an option, is in the wrong format, you have to change it. Remember also to add an O in the type column for options. When your spreadsheet is formatted and ready for import, please save your data. Once saved, please select or highlight all of your data. Ctrl+A is the keyboard shortcut. Once highlighted, please copy your data. Ctrl+C is the keyboard shortcut. This data is now copied to the Windows clipboard. Now we can open the TradeLog software. For this example, we have not set up a TradeLog data file, so we will have to create a new one. We will select the Excel-text import filter. We do not have any open positions to enter. Therefore, we can hit Escape on our keyboards. Click on the Excel Text Import Filter button. Do not use the Edit Paste command. Once the records are imported and matched, click Yes when prompted to save them. Please continue on to the next lesson.